Get over here!
Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, 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 bow. I snatched you right out of the air.
I say that's an underrated movie, but a lot of people like that movie. So
I love The Emperor's New Groove.
I think that's a great Disney movie.
What a way to start the episode. People are okay, fun fact, that's gonna be the very first sing test that people are actually going to be witness to.
Oh, wow.
Sorely because of the fact that I did that.
you get to peer behind the curtain to our amazing method.
So, yeah, that's basically how we make sure that the audio and the video are synced together with these episodes. How's it going, everybody? The Green Scorpion here, along with
the ComicFoil.
And this is episode 15 of Let's Play Kirby's Epic Yarn. Kirby's just hanging out with his snowman friend here.
The other part of the recording tradition you guys don't know about is every time I'm doing a mic test, I always go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then Oscar makes some kind of terrible sound right into the mic every time. So I'll be like, all right, this is a voice test, 1, 2, 3, checking the levels, and he'll be like, ah!
Something along those lines, yes.
So we are in Spaceland.
Basically, and we are going to start out in Future City.
I take issue with this because it is not in space. It is part of the same planet, clearly.
Technically, yes.
I mean, I guess everything is in space.
I mean, Space Land, in and of itself, is a very oxymoronic name.
It's space-themed.
I believe that's all they're really going for.
Alright, I'll give you that.
Oh, it's an elevator. Huh, look at that. This is cool.
Cool.
I always like space themes. What about you?
We got some, like, Planet Robobot before we... Yeah, space themes doesn't really, like, come to mind as my favorite kind of level, but, you know, there's good ones and bad ones.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this is kind of cool. Like, there's momentum here.
Oh, so actually if you jump, you're actually, like, gaining momentum.
Yep, like, I'm not hitting the directional buttons right now.
Cool. Oh man, that actually physics.
Ah!
Also, there's gravity.
I'm gonna restart.
Alright, well, while you're restarting, let me get you a question here.
Sounds good.
Golden Mage would like to know, what is your least favorite video game genre?
My least favorite video game genre... We actually touched upon this a little bit ago.
We had a similar sort of question about games like, you don't understand the appeal of.
Exactly, and yeah, I would have to say simulation games. Like, The Sims, Roller Coaster Tycoon, things like that. Not a fan.
Harvest Moon?
Yeah, I was never into Harvest Moon.
Stardew Valley?
I did not get around to playing Stardew Valley yet.
Stardew Valley is like better Harvest Moon.
That's what I've been hearing.
I still don't think it would be your cup of tea since you just don't really like it, but
yeah, like I understand the appeal of such games, but it was never really one for me. Like I was never too big on it.
Fair enough, fair enough. Do you have a favorite genre?
Adventure games in general. I always love a good Legend of Zelda. I always love a good Mario. Games that allow me to go somewhere and do cool things on my way there typically are my favorite kinds of games. I believe we actually answered a question like that.
I think we did.
In our Mario Golf playthrough.
Yeah, I think we might have. I'm getting to the point where I don't remember what I've told the audience before.
That happens when you do as many videos as we do.
Yeah.
But
if people are still asking, though, I guess.
But yeah, like, generally, I'm not the biggest fan of... Hey, remember these guys?
Yeah, it's the little UFO guys. You get UFO powers from them in some games.
Not in this case, but yeah. Okay, so this is cool. That's electricity, right?
But it's also a string.
Yep.
Oh my god, it flatlined.
That's really cool in my opinion.
Kirby just killed somebody on the other side of that wall.
But, yeah, simulation games I was just never a fan of. Like, I played The Sims for a while, mainly because my sister enjoyed it, but I was never a fan. Like, I could never really get into them. Again, not to say that I discredit discredit how good they are. I am well aware that they warrant the attention they deserve, but they're just not for me.
I wish I liked it more, but I don't really like playing fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching fighting games and learning about fighting games, but except for Super Smash Brothers, I'm just, like, not good at them, and therefore don't enjoy playing them.
I can understand. No, that's definitely something. I believe Maximilian Dude was actually talking about something similar in that fighting games are one of those games that you kind of have to. Nuts! I see what I got to do.
You need
here.
a certain amount of skill to even start to enjoy them.
Exactly, and it takes a lot of patience.
Yeah, Smash Brothers, I feel like you can at least start getting enjoyment out of it without having to be an expert.
Because the concept of Smash Brothers is actually very simple to understand, all things considered. Aside from that, okay, if I put this down here, there we go.
Wow, this is a very physicsy level.
I like the music in this level too. Yeah. I can understand why people aren't like fans of like fighting games or whatnot. It definitely takes a certain level of skill to just like appreciate them at all, especially when you get to a certain level with them. I also am not the biggest fan of first-person shooters, except for Overwatch and Team Fortress 2, really. Like, Overwatch is like the one first-person shooter that I play like on a regular basis. But aside from that, yeah, that's pretty much the consensus.
Okay.
But yeah, no, good question. Good question.
Well, you did get UFO powers.
I did get UFO powers, but not from the UFO itself. Yeah, this level's really cool. I do like it a lot. Spaceland's not my favorite area in this game, but you can tell they put a lot of time and attention into it.
Now, I noticed two of your little nodes there are... Oh, okay, so it's how many things you suck up changes the color of your, like, little UFO feet, and then you get an electric pulse.
Yep.
When you have 3.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby is converting them into pure energy.
As he does with pretty much anything else he intakes.
Yeah.
Alright, so, let's say we get to the next question.
Sure. This one comes again from Magus Andrus.
Alright.
Who asks, what Tales of game do you think is the easiest to get your feet into the waters?
In my opinion, Symphonia. Symphonia overall has a very easy to understand, battle system. The characters are the characters overall, like the cast in general of Tales of Symphonia is very strong.
Yeah.
Oh geez, I did not want to go after that one. Get away from me. And just in general, the story of Symphonia, despite what you might think, is actually pretty easy to digest. Like, there's a lot going on, obviously, but it's one of those stories that doesn't necessarily... You don't need to...
It's like Skies of Arcadia, you know, it's nuanced without being convoluted.
Exactly. I just did that pulse just to get rid of that freaking... Scarfy. I hate those things.
I want to point your attention, Magus, actually to the YouTube channel ZaffreRevolution.
Ah, yes, I do know who you're talking about.
He did a video on this exact topic of the best Tales of game to start with. And, I mean, he knows the series really well, so I would consider his viewpoint on that. I think what he ultimately comes to is Tales of Xillia.
Tales of Xillia, really?
Yep.
Was not expecting that one.
I'm not positive if that's what he picked, though.
Because, like...
I might be misremembering.
Because, in my personal opinion, the two in particular that are the easiest to digest for the Tales of series, is Symphonia and Vesperia.
But watch anyway, and you'll talk a little bit about each one. Really, a lot of the games are good starting points, and it just depends on what consoles you have available to you.
That's a good point. Like, none of the Tales of games are necessarily difficult to get into once you're into it.
If you have an Xbox 360, I'd say Vesperia, or better yet, if you have a Switch, get the definitive edition of Vesperia when it comes out.
Actually, yeah, because the fact that we have the definitive edition of Vesperia coming out soon, that's a really, really good excuse, in my opinion, to actually get started into the game, and there is no platform there.
Yeah, that was a bit misleading.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you wouldn't go wrong with Xillia or Vesperia as your first. You wouldn't want to start with just, like, Legendia or any of the earlier ones or the 2D ones.
Absolutely not. If you want a modern, like, 3D Tales of game that I don't think is a good starting point, in my opinion, it's two of them. Graces and believe it or not, Zestiria. But the others are in general really safe to get into. Tales of the Abyss is a good one if you have a
it's on the 3DS.
Yeah, if you have a 3DS, Tales of the Abyss is a good one to get into.
Or a PS2, if you want the original.
Yeah, or a PS2. Tales of Berseria is really good to get into. Symphony of Vesperia, as we mentioned, are both really solid choices. Those are the games, in my opinion, in the Tales of series that, like, honestly, any one of them are safe. But if you want my personal recommendation, I'd go with Symphonia.
And I think Symphonia, Zestiria, and Berseria are all on Steam.
I believe so, yeah.
I don't think people particularly like the Steam version of Symphonia, though. So
that's what I've heard. If you can get your hands on the HD copy of Symphonia, then do that.
Yeah, there's an HD remake, or originally it was on the GameCube and later the PS2.
Yes, that would be my recommendation. But aside from that, yeah, like the fact that we have Tales of Vesperia coming out for the Switch, like as a definitive edition, honestly, that might just make it the best option.
That might be the best place for you too.
Absolutely.
Vesperia, Symphonia, Xillia, you can't go wrong with either of those.
I agree. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Like I do definitely recommend people getting into the Tales of series because I think it's a wonderful franchise.
Wait, did I go back one? No, it's just some people are watching or asking the same questions.
Alright, so, while you're moving on to another question, I'm gonna head over to the next level.
Okay.
We got a plug here.
Plug it in, plug it in.
We're actually plugging it in. We're plugging in a TV.
Yeah. Well, that looks like a giant version of the one furniture you picked up.
Yeah, which, by the way, we need for the,
Tube Town.
Yep. We actually need that piece of furniture for the, for the last apartment.
Can you go back?
Yeah?
I just want a little more. Who is that guy? Why is freaking Baymax beckoning us into Future City?
I don't know. I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out.
He's kind of creeping me out, man.
You want to know what, though? The fact that he's standing like that, overlooking a city, like, your thought was Baymax. My thought was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, yeah.
There's some Ghostbusters there for you.
Or Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, he kind of has the shape of Oogie Boogie, doesn't he? By the way, look at this is cool.
Aw.
I love this game so much. It's so creative. Anyway, next question, if you have one.
We're going in the TV.
We are actually going into the TV.
That's awesome.
This level's really cool.
So Eric Riddick wants to know what your favorite anime licensed games are.
Anime licensed game?
Yeah.
Alright, so basically a licensed game that's based on anime.
Yes.
The first one that comes to mind is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Okay.
Specifically Ninja Storm 2 and 3. I believe if you're looking for a solid anime fighter, that game is just amazing. Like, it is really well done. It's fun. It's like it complements the series really well. In general, it's really good. And if there's one thing about Ninja Storm that I just appreciate, the music is godlike, dude.
Yeah, I do really like the music.
The music from the Ninja Storm games is unbelievably amazing. Like, in my opinion, it's kind of funny because, like, you know the story of, like, Naruto, right, and all that jazz?
Yeah.
In my opinion, the Storm games tell it better.
Than the anime?
Yes. Because the anime does so much pandering and, and I understand why, but it's just, the ninjas, if you want to appreciate the full scope of the Naruto story without the pandering and more action, the Ninja Storm games are actually a really good way to do it.
I guess it gets more, like, straight to the point.
It does, because, like, for example, the fight with Pain, like, a lot of it is talking in the anime, right? Like, you know, all this talk of philosophy, and, like,
it's a shonen anime.
Exactly, like, the characters complementing each other's abilities.
Do a million flashbacks.
Yeah, but it's like, instead of saying, like, he used his chakra manipulation ability to expand the jutsu. Instead, it, like, in the game, it's just the Rasen Shuriken expand, and it's just like it expanded and they die. It's that simple. And, like, instead of saying instead of saying you are truly the pinnacle of the shinobi way, like whenever Naruto does something cool, like Pain in the game is just like, not bad. And the fight continues.
And that's all you need?
That's all you need!
Huh, interesting.
Alright, so this is cool, right? Ow.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Not that.
I like the part where you took damage. So... Oh! It's like a weird plug snake. You're right, that was cool.
Told ya!
Wow.
But, yeah, anime license game, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm definitely comes to mind. Dragon Ball Fighter Z! Oh, that game is a love letter to Dragon Ball fans, and let me tell you, it is amazing. It is absolutely fantastic.
It looks really good, yeah.
It is great. Like,
I've never been huge into DBZ, but...
Like, the DBZ game, like, DBZ, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, like, if you're into the Dragon Ball series, get the game. If you're not into the Dragon Ball series, get the game.
Strongly consider getting the game.
Yes, it's just so good, man.
I mean, the game might get you into the Dragon Ball series.
Honestly, yes. Like, I was actually skeptical of Dragon Ball Super, not gonna lie.
Really?
But
Oh, of Super, yeah.
yeah, of Super in general, but just the Dragon Ball Fighters made me love it. Like, actually. And I am shocked to say that. I gotta find a way down here. I think I know how.
I am really stoked for...
Are you serious?
Oh,
Are you actually freaking serious right now?
deadly serious.
Okay, I'm good.
I'm really stoked for the My Hero Academia game.
Oh, I see what I
It's
gotta
gonna
do.
be on the Switch.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. That actually might motivate me to get into the series finally.
We should do it. We should
Yeah,
watch it.
we should totally watch it.
It is, like, tied for my favorite anime right now. There's only been 2 anime I've ever, like, really loved, and it's that and Full Metal Alchemist.
But, yeah, those are the 2 that really immediately come to mind, in my opinion, is Dragon Ball Fighter Z and the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games. Like, those games are, like, very, very strong, in my opinion.
Good choices.
Alright, next question.
Let me see here. Oh, well, this is a big one here. From... Oh, man, even the name is kind of complicated to me.
Oh, really?
New Age Retro Player for Dan.
Oh, that's gonna be fun to type down.
What got me was the first part is all one word, so I was trying to figure out what the words were in there. Sorry, I'm dyslexic, guys. It takes me a second sometimes. To Oscar and John, how would you differentiate the phrases acquired taste or love it or hate it in video games?
Say it again?
So, he says, I see these phrases get tossed around for some games, and I'm curious what your opinions are on the matter. So, if you would say if you would describe a game as an acquired taste or love it or hate it, like, what does that mean to us?
Okay, so for me personally,
Yes.
a game that you either love it or hate it is basically... It doesn't matter whether you love or hate the game, there is some merit to this game no matter how you feel about it. For example, like, some people are tired of Undertale or, you know, like, people praising the hell out of Melee or something like that. You gotta keep in mind that love it or hate it, as I'm saying,
Yeah.
those games got recognized for a reason.
There are certain merits to it, and you're not, like... If you're not into those games, you're not... like dumb. It's not like you're missing the point or something.
Like when we say,
but you have to admit there is a reason for people to
exactly. Like when we say love it or hate it, we're basically saying you are allowed to love or hate this game, but it warrants like the opinions regarding this game exist for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whether you love or hate. Not bringing it up. Not bringing it up. Not bringing it up.
Oh, no.
Not bringing it up.
No, Undertale. Go back to Undertale.
Undertale. Okay. In regards to Undertale...
Oh, that was a close one.
Yeah. In regards to Undertale, whether you love it or hate it, there's a reason why it's loved. Or, on the flip side, you can love Star Wars Battlefront, or Star Wars Battlefront 2 all you want. Like, if you love it or hate it, great. But there's a reason why people hate it. And it's because of the freaking microtransaction.
Oh, the more
crap.
recent Battlefront 2. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Battlefront 2, not Star Wars Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront was fantastic, dude.
Well, there was Star Wars Battlefront, and there was Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then there was Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Battlefront 2. There have been 2 games in different eras with each of those names.
Yeah, I'm like
You're talking about the more recent ones.
Yeah, the more recent ones, just terrible. Like, and it's not even that they're necessarily like bad games. They kind of are though. But there's a reason why people hate them. So whether you love or hate them, there's a reason behind this. Whether you love Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, there's a reason why they're revered as like a couple of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah.
Whether you love Overwatch or League of Legends, there's a reason why they are the biggest games in the online community right now.
I think as nerds and like lovers of different media and anime and stuff like that, I think sometimes we can put too much personal pride in the things that we enjoy, that we get really hurt or really aggravated by other people who don't like them. So that if you're a huge Sonic fan and somebody says they really hate Sonic for, you know, the annoying characters or the, like, pinpoint turn level design, or, you know, there are people who think of themselves, who define themselves a lot as a huge Sonic fan, that they feel very insulted when somebody else doesn't like Sonic. And I think that's something you gotta kind of watch out for.
One of my friends, actually, is basically the epitome of that. I'm not gonna mention her by name, but there's this one person I hang out with on a regular basis who kind of gets a little defensive whenever I mention that I don't like something she does.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like, she loves the hell out of Lightning, and I don't like... From Final Fantasy, and I don't like the character at all.
Yeah.
And she, like... I guess I do give her a little crap about it, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, I can't come to like this character. And I remember mentioning on my top 10 tragic boss battles list, like, where, like, some people love it or love or hate Kingdom Hearts, but it's not hard to see where either side is coming from.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, there was the other one, right? What was the second part of the question? Like, it was either love or hate, or...
An acquired taste.
An acquired taste is different. When you say something is an acquired taste, it's a situation where you kind of have to get your hands dirty first before you really start appreciating something. Like,
something that's an acquired taste doesn't necessarily have the, like, inarguable merit.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, this is an anti-gravity level.
Like, I would say, I would say Hyrule Warriors is an acquired taste, because you have to admit that the main story isn't, like, hugely engaging. The real reason
there's really nothing to write home about in terms of the story.
You're playing it for the adventure mode, and the adventure mode is you doing the same thing over and over and over again to get small little rewards each time.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, don't really matter much.
And if you're okay with that, you'll have a really great time, as Oscar and I do, but it is an acquired taste. Not everybody is going to enjoy that monotony, that, like, grocery shopping of missions.
That's basically the long and short of it, yeah.
So I would call that an acquired taste.
Because it's a situation where, like, you can't really appreciate what this is until you start getting your hands dirty.
So I think saying something's an acquired taste suggests that a lot of people don't like it.
Not necessarily. I'd say when you say something is an acquired taste, whether most people like it or not, it's one of those situations where it's one of those things where it's the classic saying you need to have been there. Know what I mean? It's like
I guess so, yeah.
Like you can't really come to truly appreciate this unless you've actually experienced it. That's basically what an acquired taste is.
No, I think it's just because you can experience it and just be like, you know, I played that game and I kind of think it sucks.
Well, yeah, but again, like, that's a... and when you say something is an acquired taste, it's usually referring to when it actually deserves to be considered good, you know? Like, if you play something and, like, it sucks, it sucks. But if you look at something, are kind of skeptical, like, this doesn't seem all that good, you get your hands dirty for a couple of rounds, and it's like, I still don't really find the appeal to it. But then you start appreciating it and, like, start actually having fun. And it's like, actually, I'm starting to like this, that's an acquired taste.
So you're defining it as something that you need to put time into to enjoy.
Exactly. It's like something basically that basically makes you say, you pick it up the first time, okay, I'm not a big fan of this. You play it for a couple more times, okay, like there's something here, and then you play it for a little while longer, and it's like, you know, I actually like this more than I was expecting.
Okay.
That's what I consider an acquired taste.
I think with something that we call an acquired taste, though, there's also the possibility that you might put all this time into it and still not like it.
In my opinion, that is not necessarily an acquired taste. That's just something that you eventually come to realize that you're not a huge fan of.
But yeah, but I mean, like, you know, Hyrule Warriors, some people are gonna, like, play it a lot and try and get that same, like, okay, I'll just play it a bunch and then I'll be into it, but they're still not gonna get into it. They just didn't happen to acquire that taste, like, not for lack of trying.
That is true. I suppose.
Like, I'm not gonna tell you, like, oh, just put another 20 hours into it. You'll see. Like, but
yeah, I guess I'm kind of comparing it to. Do you remember that episode of SpongeBob with the kelp shakes?
No.
Huh.
Was that a later episode?
It was a later episode,
Then
but basically, Plankton
not.
and Mr. Krabs were trying to find out why people liked kelp shakes so much, because it was kind of like stealing Mr. Krabs' business. But, like, it was basically, like, they tried the kelp shakes, and, at first they thought it was disgusting, but then, they, tasted it a little more and more. Eventually, they began to like it.
Okay.
I'm kind of comparing it to that, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I think that's a good way to define it, yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what we come to when we say something is either an acquired taste or you love it or hate it, that kind of thing, you know?
I mean, these...
When it comes down to it, they're reviewing terms.
Yeah, both of them are going to be used in kinds of situations where it's like, we want to show the merits of something, but realize that not everyone is going to enjoy this.
Exactly.
Either on their first try or at all.
But yeah, that's a really good question. I like that a lot.
That one was really heady.
Alright, so, I believe we're getting near the end of this level, so let's go with one more question.
Okay.
Oh man, this level is so epic.
This one comes from the Banana Bros.
Alright.
Do you like Fire Emblem Heroes seasonal exclusive banners? And are there any units you especially like from them?
Seasonal and exclusive banners. I'm guessing it's basically those, like, holiday banners, like, the summer and the
like
Christmas.
When instead of Hector, it's like, this is Valentine's Hector, or... Yeah. The Christmas ones, even the bridal ones, the beach ones.
Well, I'm not going to lie and say that I don't like them, because I definitely do. I do like them a lot. Am I upset about the fact that they are exclusive to only certain times of the year? A little bit, but it makes sense. Yes, I do have some of my favorites. In particular, Courtesan Lyn.
At least these characters,
like Valentine's Lyn is just beautiful.
At least these characters come back around, so, like, you get another chance to get them later.
I do have quite a few of them, in my roster, surprisingly. Like, I managed to get them somehow. By the way, this is cool.
Oh, when you do the spin, it kind of helicopters you up.
Yep, and you can get this! Haha! But, yeah, Valentine's Lyn is definitely among my favorites. I'm still using her. Unfortunately, I didn't get Gentleman Hector. I failed to get him in the banner. A couple of the other ones, that I use, I'm using Bridal, Tharja, which I didn't think I was gonna like as much as I did, but holy smoke, she is cool. Bridal, I'm also using Bridal, Lyn as well. Like, no shame. A little bit of shame. Who else?
I'm not as much into the fan service of some of these, but I mean, if you are, that's cool.
Like, I understand why people are into it, and quite frankly, I am in no position to judge whether
you can't say you understand why people are into it. You're into it. Don't lie.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. No, that's the thing. Like, I would say that I don't really get it, but I do. Yeah. And I'm into it too. So, I'm not gonna lie about that.
I don't so much get into the alt costumes for that. Like, the way my, like, fandom with the series works is I'd rather see more Fire Emblem characters that haven't been in the game yet be introduced.
I actually do agree with that.
Like, I got more excited to see, like, Sumia and Libra added into the game than seeing, like, there being, like, a beach version of Camilla.
I completely agree. Though, surprisingly, I actually think they handled Beach Camilla really well. They could have easily gone in a more raunchy direction, but she actually looks fantastic.
And I'm not trying to say, like, oh, this is disgraceful pandering fan service, they're pandering to you guys are all lewd and disgusting. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Like, enjoy the series the way you want to enjoy it.
Exactly.
They do it because people like it. That just doesn't do it for me.
And that's exactly what people, I think, need to understand about Fire Emblem Heroes. Like, there's nothing really deep going on in Fire Emblem Heroes, and it's not trying to be this, like, grand, like, epic saga of a game. It's a fan service game. That's all it is. But it's a good fan service game.
I get a little up on my high horse sometimes about the women outfits and stuff like that, but I don't get as upset as some people online do. So
yeah, I've seen that firsthand.
I'd fall somewhere in the middle, I think.
Like, I actually do appreciate it when I do appreciate it when a lady is, like, you know, shown off that way, as long as it makes sense. For example, I like the way they handled Summer Tana. Like,
I don't remember that look as much.
Tana from Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, the Princess of Frelia.
I know who the character is. I don't remember the outfit.
It's more of a one piece, but it's a very elegant looking one piece.
Okay.
And like the way they voiced her character, like she's having fun. She appreciates the fact that she's in an outfit that's not so formal, like, so she's not dealing with the stifling of, like, royal court intrigue. It's like, I do like the way they handle that. Is it fan servicey? Yes. Am I ashamed to admit that? No.
I'm not saying all fan service is bad. Just so every once in a while, there's one that kind of makes me roll my eyes. Not one that makes me write a huge diatribe on Twitter, but one that makes me roll my eyes.
It's one of those things where,
like Noir.
Exactly. Like Noir. Like, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Beach Noir. I use Beach Noir. I have her on my roster.
Well, that's mechanics, though. That doesn't have anything to do with the, like, design of the character.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I don't necessarily have an issue with the fact that with the way they designed Summer Noir. I have an issue with the fact that we didn't get regular Noir first.
I mean, I'm not losing sleep over it. But,
exactly. Like,
yeah.
It's not that it's a deal breaker or anything. It's just a little bothersome.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where it doesn't make me angry. It's one of those things that makes me say, you know, this is a bit of a distraction.
I'm sorry, I did not realize we've been going for half an hour.
It's alright, man. Hey, that'll happen sometimes.
I was like, why isn't he starting the next level? Oh.
Yeah, we get lost in our conversations.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like a lot of the seasonal banners in Fire Emblem Heroes. I definitely go after them whenever they appear. As of right now, my favorite unit from the seasonal banners is definitely Valentine's Lynn. Because I think she's beautiful. A resistant armor unit. Like an armor unit that specializes in resistance and is a blue mage. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool.
With armor march.
And it's also your fictional girlfriend in a cool outfit.
Shut up.
I mean, that's why you like it.
I know!
They could have taken that same...
know!
They could have given those stats to, like, Maribel or something like that, but that's not why you like the character.
I do like Maribel, though.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
Like, that's not why they do it. They do it to take the characters people like and put them in different fancy outfits, and that's fine. I
still don't get, dude, why Lynn is not in freaking Smash Brothers. I mean, we have 5 Lynns! 5 different Lynns in Fire Emblem Heroes. Her popularity is obvious!
If they put another Fire Emblem character
they put her in Smash Brothers!
If they did, I think it would be Lynn.
Please! And if not Lynn, Hector! Come on, let's get an axe wielder from Fire Emblem Heroes here. Or Ephraim! Like, you know, spears and whatnot. We're getting off our rocker here. Thank you guys for joining us for not Fire Emblem. Let's play Kirby's Epic Yarn.
This is not a Fire Emblem channel.
I know it's not.
Does that look like Marth to you? No.
We can't get past this, man.
It kind of looks
you
like
and I
Sarah,
are Fire Emblem
pink.
fans. We're gonna talk about it. Ugh.
Everything got a little heated. Let's just calm down. We'll drink some water. It's gonna be okay.
Can we get an episode where we don't talk about Fire Emblem or end with a ridiculous pun? Please! Okay, next episode. No Fire Emblem questions.
Alright, that's a rule. No.
Okay? I love talking about the series, but even Amber has expressed that I talk about it too much.
Banned.
Bye!
I'm interested to see if less people watch the next episode because they know it won't have Fire Emblem.
Oh, if you guys, I will specifically look at the statistics of the next episode to see that. Okay, I'm watching you.
This will be educational.
Oh goodness.